Hello and welcome to the Etch Play Weekly live show. My name is Adam Burt and I'm joined for the first part of today's show by Ben Joy. Say hello, Ben.
Hello.
Thank you for tuning in. It's another jam-packed show this week full of all the latest games industry news, including news about the PlayStation 5, news about Deathloop from Arcane Studios, and news about Epic Games, one of the biggest companies in the world. We're also going to be playing some Deep Rock Galactic later on, and if you're interested in cryptocurrency, or anything crypto, I should say, stick around because later on in the show, Dan Thomas is joining us to talk about crypto in gaming. So hold your bitcoins, get your little Bitcoin purse out, hold on to them tightly, and come and see what he has to say about crypto later on. If you are watching, let us know, sound off in the chat, we'd love to hear from you. If you've got a cool name and it's not offensive, I might read it out in the show, give you a little shout out. How are you doing, Ben?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm very well. Thursday again. Always happy to be in your company. Oh, well, it's acceptable. It's acceptable. So.
That's quite sweet. That's quite a nice thing to say.
That's why I walked it back a bit. I was like, that's a bit too nice.
A bit too nice, bit too nice.
Yeah.
Hello in the chat to Tony. Happy Thursday to you too. Thank you for tuning in. Shall we do some news, Ben?
Yeah, why not? That's why we're here. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Our first story comes out of Arcane Studios, and this actually happened last week. It was like during the show or just after the show. So Arcane Studios, creators of Prey, Dishonored, and other immersive sim first-person games, have announced they're delaying Deathloop. This is the title coming to PlayStation 5, originally slated for release in 2020. It was delayed last August, and it's now being delayed again. So it's being pushed from May 21st back to September 14th. Not much detail around why this delay has happened this time, but last time around they did attribute the slide to difficulty adjusting to working from home in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's clearly had an impact across the industry. I mean, they're not the only game that's been delayed. We talk about games being delayed a lot at the minute. Some other company that you might have heard of recently, Hogwarts Legacy, Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, the Prince of Persia remake, Gran Turismo 7, all games that have been delayed due to COVID-19. Ben, how long do you think we can keep seeing delays from COVID-19? How long before the games industry gets back on track?
I wonder. I was thinking about this before we came on, and I wonder whether this is just the new normal. And you know, I'm not saying COVID-19 wasn't.
You said the words "new normal" on my show.
I know this is the new normal. This is the new normal. And I think yes, COVID-19 has obviously had an impact, but I don't think that's the only impact. And I think even after we're out of the pandemic, I think we'll either see a shift to games just keep being delayed, or maybe people will be less ambitious and not put specific dates on it, and maybe just give a rough time frame, like something you often see, like some in holidays 2021 or like summer 2021, or maybe even a little bit broader than that, because
at some point in future years,
yes, the game will come out eventually. Just because I think that I don't want to keep going back to it so much, but I think Cyberpunk has put the fright on everyone, that they, you don't want to get burned like that, and it's better to have kind of the badness of a slight delay than coming out and it being not a very good launch. So I just think, I think COVID-19 is a relevant excuse. Like it's fair, but I think it's also with a lot of businesses, and like even outside of the games industry, it's easy to use that as a blocker at the moment. It's like, oh, COVID, so that's why we're delayed. I think even after we come out of this, we'll still see game delays. So I kind of just think that's just going to be the new normal, so to speak. So yeah, I don't think we'll fully come out of this. I know they said, Arcane have said, like, it's to do with this time with quality and making sure that the health and safety of all their employees is all up to speed. So I guess that's hinting at COVID, and also kind of that they don't want to crunch, which is great because we know crunch can be a real issue in the industry, and is, no one likes to see it, but it does happen still from time to time. So if that's the reason why they're not doing it, I personally would rather a game is delayed than have the devs working on the game be working ridiculous hours week after week after week. Like, I'd rather wait a little bit longer and make sure everyone is having a healthy work-life balance, not working mental hours. So,
yep. Best wishes to everyone at Arcane. Good luck with the game. Who else is in the chat? We've got Game Music Gaiden. Afternoon to you as well. And Gang Gang 247 says oi oi. Oi oi to you as well, Gang Gang. Our next story is PlayStation 5 firmware update has arrived. This came out yesterday. The update adds new features including external USB storage support for PlayStation 5 games and new social features that enable cross-generation share play between PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Can you tell I'm reading the press release verbatim? The biggest new feature is this external drives thing. So moving games to an external drive is a big step, one they haven't really taken previously. They're kind of maybe lagging a bit behind Microsoft in that regard, would you say, Ben?
Yeah, Xbox had this kind of almost from launch, I think, which was obviously for the consoles that have the smaller capacity, and because they don't have the disk drives either, so you're reliant on needing the space. It's good that they're catching up because, we were talking about the PS4 before, but we said like how, you know, with the size of games getting bigger, there's only so many games you can fit on, so having that extra storage device is great. I think one of the differences between PlayStation and Xbox is if you have the official Xbox game, you can play backwards compatible versions off of the hard drive, but not the Series X. But on the PlayStation 1, you have to move them across onto the system, so you can store them on the storage device, but you can't play off of them. So it's not all the way up to Microsoft. I'd say Microsoft ones are on the backwards compatible ones, as I understand it anyway. So it's definitely good to get there because games are getting bigger as more and more goes into them. So yeah, we need that space.
Yeah. I have Peggle on my Xbox Series X, and I could put it on an external drive, but I choose not to because I love how fast it loads. Shall we move on to our next story before people quiz me about why I'm still playing Peggle in the year 2021?
No shame.
Epic Games Store spending revealed. So this is a bit of a complex story, actually. So you may remember from previous episodes of the show, Epic and Apple are currently in a legal sparring match of sorts about transactions that take place on Apple platforms. We're talking about iOS here primarily. And as part of that legal wrangling, Apple have basically lodged a new legal filing. And what they're claiming in this filing is they're claiming some financials on behalf of Epic, basically to say that the Epic Games Store doesn't make money. And what it reveals is that Epic supposedly lost around $181 million US on the Epic Games Store in 2019 and is projected to lose $273 million more on the store in 2020. So this is about getting exclusivity. This is the hundreds of millions of dollars they're spending on making games free for their weekly free games, and also on securing exclusive rights to games, which we know they've been doing a lot of. Epic have come out and admitted that this is kind of the case and that the trend will continue in the immediate future. They're expecting to make a loss of $139 million on the Epic Games Store in 2021. And Tim Sweeney, the head honcho of Epic Games, as you might call him, it doesn't seem that bothered. He's out there on Twitter saying, yeah, this is true, but I don't care because I think it's a good investment in the future of the platform. And he knows that Steam has such a stranglehold on the PC market that to break into that, they were going to have to spend a lot of money. So kind of a lot of money to spend and maybe a bit of lost revenue there. Some games haven't maybe met sales targets as much as they would have liked. But the big picture here is that Epic are spending money that they have, because they're one of the richest companies in the world, and deliberately, like it's a deliberate plan by them to have these kind of lost leaders. What do you make of this, Ben?
Yeah, this is very much as you would expect in a legal battle. It's twisting words and it's point scoring. I think Tim Sweeney's spot on. Like when you say like, oh, you've lost hundreds of millions of dollars, it's not viable. But you know, it's an investment. It's not a loss per se. You know, it's a business strategy, loss leading. You know, it's why would you not do that? I mean, just to put it in perspective, in 2019, Apple invested $500 million into Apple Arcade and getting games onto Apple Arcade. So what's the difference? You know, it's the same thing. It's just you hear $500 million invested. Wow, that's a solid investment. They must be really, really feeling confident about this. And then you go, oh well, they're losing $300 million over here. And it's like you're doing the same thing. You're just wording it different to make it sound worse, which they're in illegal battles. That's why they're doing it. But I mean, as you said, that they're spending money that they have, investing in a platform that they believe in. I mean, Epic was valued, was it last year, like $17 billion or something? So a couple $100 million is a bit, chump change for investment. But yeah, it's definitely that it's not anything to be worried about. I'm not surprised that this is the case because, as you say, Steam is so strong that they've got to do something to challenge it. And that's what the industry needs. I know players sometimes kind of like, oh, exclusive like isn't good for the players, but in the long run, I think it is, because would you rather have one company as a monopoly that controls everything and has all of the power, or would you rather have some competition in the market which makes everything better? I'd rather have competition and make everything better rather than a single monopoly. So I just see this as point scoring. I don't think Epic have anything to worry about. They wouldn't do it if they didn't think it was going to be successful and this was the right strategy, because you don't get to be valued that highly without making sensible decisions and sensible financial decisions. Just because you've got the money doesn't mean you'd spend it for the sake of. So I really don't think there's a
Sweeney found it back on the sofa. He just reached his hand down, pulled out 273 million last year. We like to end every week when we can of the news with a positive news story. This is our idea that we think that games can be a powerful force for good in the world. And Ben, you've brought this week's Games for Good story. Why don't you tell us all about it?
Yes, I saw this when I was scrolling through Twitter. So the charity Safe in Our World and our friends over at Yuki, who run the Raise the Game Diversity Pledge, they're teaming up for a Safe Together mental health event, and that event is on the 29th of April, so that's 2 weeks today. You can sign up and register for the event now. If you don't know, let me just find what they're. Safe in Our World. So they're a charity that are focused on kind of removing the stigma around mental health in the games industry and beyond, not just for the games industry. But yeah, they partnered with Raise the Game, who are big on diversity in the games industry. So that's a nice mashup together. And the event is going to be around general mental health and also talking a lot about imposter syndrome, which in these creative industries is quite prevalent. People do suffer from imposter syndrome. So go check that out. It's Safe in Our World and Raise the Game, and it's called Safer Together Mental Health. So check that out. Events are on Eventbrite. So yeah, if you're interested in that, go grab yourself a free ticket. It's free to attend.
Cool. Thanks very much, Ben. Shout out in the chat. Who else have we got here? Dan's joined us. I mean, he should have been here from the start. He's actually on the show today in 15 minutes. Hello to Emma Budd. Hello to everyone who's watching. We really appreciate you tuning in. We're going to throw to a pre-recorded segment, and actually it's going to be me and Ben again, plus an additional Ben, so 2 Bens for your buck. This is us playing Deep Rock Galactic. This is about 15 minutes, and we'll be back after this with a chat about crypto in games with Dan Thomas, so don't go anywhere. See you soon. Hello and welcome to our Let's Play video. We are a 3-man team. I'm joined by Ben Joy and Ben Gammon. Say hello, Ben Joy.
Hello.
And say hello, Ben Gammon.
Bonjour.
We are dwarves in space, and we are going to go mining. Are you ready to drill some rocks, guys?
I'm ready to drill some rocks.
Right, let's do it. Let's head over here. This is mostly a first-person game, which you'll now see once I've stopped dancing. And it's a co-op focused shoot 'em up where you have to mine for precious materials and shoot bugs. So I'm going to open the map. We're really near the start of the game here, so we'll just do something really simple and head to this mission.
Mission selected. Your chariot awaits, gentlemen. Move
Right,
out.
when you guys are ready, come up and get in the ship up here.
Oh, it's exciting.
Oh, let's roll.
You've got 15 seconds to get in quickly. Oh, Ben, you're sketching out. There you go, you're back in. But you're back in the room. So we're all different types of character. I'm the engineer, we've got a driller and a scout, and they all have different abilities, which kind of work in tandem. I mean, we're very early here. I've done the tutorial, you guys haven't even done that, so good chance we're not going to make it. But let's see if we can find some precious minerals and shoot some bugs.
I like your optimism.
It's the start of the game.
Positive as ever.
How hard can
It's
it
the-
be?
It's the easiest part of the entire game. I don't think we can make it.
Yeah. Low bar. At least if we do, we'll have exceeded expectations.
Okay, so when we get out here, we should be. So you'll notice we're accompanied by a walking robot. When we get a bit further out, he's like our walking bank. So when you find precious minerals, you want to deposit them with him.
Deep, so be on your guard. Scanners indicate particularly rich veins of morkite and gold.
So these little creatures and stuff, are they friendly?
They're
See
almost
around, or have I
definitely
got-
not friendly. You probably want to avoid them or shoot them. So
We're
we're
just
looking
drilling.
You can see in the top right, we're looking for morkite primarily, which is a blue thing. Oh, I've just thrown something. I've just done a tutorial. I forgot all the controls straight away. Someone's...
I feel like I'm harvesting some more kite.
Oh, I've thrown a... So you can throw flares with B, and you want to do that pretty regularly so you can see where we're going. This is Nitra. Let's see if we can go up here.
Where you
Run
go?
out of ammo.
Ah! How do you shoot those things?
With your gun, with the right trigger.
Okay.
Where have you guys gone to? Can you see my flare? I'm over here.
Yeah, I can see you.
Get up here.
Open. Deep Rock seriously need to invest in some better equipment.
And if we get up
Yeah,
here,
we do need.
this stuff here is easy to drill. Ben Joy, I think, is the driller. Look at that! Right.
There we go. Now we're cooking.
Oh, okay. There's a thing down here. It's dead. Remember to keep pressing B almost all the time to throw flares so you can see what's around you.
These drills are incredibly. Oh, they only last for so long. I feel like something's attacking. Whoa!
Yeah, you're being attacked by bugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're down here looking for morkite, which is a blue thing. There's some plain quartz, some common rock. No morkite. So we've got to head deeper into the cave. Let's do this. What's that? Nitra. So Nitra you can use for ammo, so we should probably collect that while we can see it. So I'll collect some of this.
Someone dropped their axe.
It's probably me.
Okay, I've got full Nitra. And I think our little robot friend will give you ammo if you give him the Nitra. Uh-oh. Okay, there's a big thing down here. There's a big thing down here.
Down where? Oh, down there. I see it.
You appear to be throwing flares at me.
Yeah, I was just trying to light your way. Victory! Uh-oh, I should not have jumped down here. Help! What's this thing?
Don't know, shoot it.
There's gold down here.
You can have some gold if you want. You can collect that.
Yeah, I'm getting some gold. I'm getting me some gold.
Hey, what's
Gotta be
here?
some nitrous.
Here's some morkite right here.
Hell yeah. Getting that sweet, sweet morkite.
It's like she's bigger on the inside.
Deposit it in our little robot friend. And
Any morkite hidden in this rock?
probably not.
No.
Need to get some more ammo.
We collected loads of nitro, so you should be able to get some, I think. How do you give stuff to the robot? Oh, you just
Text to
hold it.
deposit. But yeah, I think we have to get to a certain level before he'll offer us more ammo. So
Okay. Let's just keep rolling. Ugh.
plain quartz up here. I'm going to build a platform for you guys with my platform.
Whoa, how'd you
gun.
do that?
It's one of my
right.
class
That's very
abilities. I
helpful.
can build platforms. Oh,
Oh.
That is a class ability.
We.
Detected. Lock up and get ready.
big swarm.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Sentry gun needs assembly.
I'm going to build a sentry, which I'm building directly in your crotch. Throw some flares out. Make sure we can see him coming.
Contact. Lock and load.
Where are they then? Oh, okay.
Oh, they're behind us. Ah!
Oh no! I moved my sentry at the wrong time.
No!
Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Ah!
There you go.
Oh! I just exploded myself and possibly all you guys. I need some help.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
If anyone could see their way to,
Where are you? Oh, you're off.
I'm in behind you and slowly dying because I panicked and tried to C4 the bugs and just C4 myself.
There you go. You're back now. Save my life.
Thank you very much. Oh, are you dead as well?
No, I'm.
Ah! I need.
Keep firing. Yeah, burn them. Oh, oh, they're everywhere.
The wave's almost over though. Press RB to throw a grenade. Okay.
Ah!
Ah! I'm also in desperate need of help.
You dead again?
Yeah. I'm the driller, I'm not a fighter. I drill things.
Oh no!
Did you get killed while you were reviving me?
I did, yeah. And it's just chaos. Ben Gammon, you're our
Gammon.
only hope.
Yeah.
And I've got no ammo.
Can you switch weapon?
All of them.
What have you been doing?
Shooting.
Maybe see if you can
not
find
very
our.
effectively.
Can you find our robot buddy and see if he'll give you any ammo?
I'm being chased at the moment.
This is just a massacre.
You hammering them.
Yeah.
At least Gam's still alive. We've still got hope.
Where is the robot? Oh, is he
There he
dead?
is.
Oh, they killed
No.
the robot?
I don't think he's dead. I think he's balancing on a rock.
I don't know how I can kill these without any.
These guys are just going to town on me and Adam. Yeah, I think you were right, Adam, when you said we weren't going to get very far.
We're terrible space dwarves. I mean, it would have helped if I'd let you
No,
guys
no,
do a
what?
tutorial, to be fair.
Yeah.
Or if I'd remembered it myself. Oh, he's got a zip line out.
Whoa!
I've used all my shotgun shells on my assault rifle.
There's a robot.
I can't see it because I've got a web on my face.
These two things are just, like... Do they not realise we're dead?
There you go. Do you have any grenades?
No, I used them all.
Oh, dear.
Maybe you're getting webbed. And the robot
I
won't
can't
give you anything.
survive.
Like when you're near the robot, it doesn't say anything. You can't like.
No.
Maybe just run to us and see if you can revive one of us without dying.
Are you stuck up there?
You killed that one.
How did you even get up there?
He's got a zipline gun.
Ah, right, okay.
Trying to get further down. There we go. There we go. Take that. If I could just get this last one without dying.
I believe in you.
You can do it, Gam. Yes.
Yeah, hammer his ass.
I can't believe it's not even turning around. Is that having any effect?
Hey!
Yes!
Quick, revive us before more come.
Heck yes, Gam.
Although I'm getting poisoned right now. Where did we get more health from?
Someone. What? Right, you're not even going to revive me. Okay.
You're getting poisoned. You're right in the middle of a cloud.
Run.
Okay, there we go. Now, Ben, Joy, the brown area here is perfect for your drills.
Let's get to drilling.
There you go, to the right. In there.
Okay.
We got a problem.
What kind of problem?
How big of a problem?
A big problem.
That is a big problem.
A big.
Two big problems.
Come through here. We'll use it. We'll create a natural bottleneck.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Die! Ah!
I'm dead.
I'm still alive, somehow. These things don't seem to be massively affected by fire. Okay, that's one of them dead. Is the other one still alive?
You're burning me.
Oh, did I burn you?
Yes.
Swarm on a direct intercept course.
Uh-oh.
Oh, not another
no.
one. Well, which way do you reckon they're coming from?
One sentry gun ready to be built. Rock and roll.
Keep throwing the flares so we can at least see them.
Combat positions. The swarm is here.
I mean, this is not going to go well.
They're from behind. They're coming from behind. Fire is not as effective as it should be. Ah! I got another gun that would be helpful. What? Holy! Ah! Can I just drill it to death? Let's try that. Drill you! Ah! Oh dear. I died and I think I fell down a hole. You can.
We're all dead.
I think we suffered from not knowing how to play the game.
Yes, that was definitely not to our advantage. At least Adam's still half standing. We are literally dead.
Well, we're going to throw it back to the studio, and this has been Deep Rock Galactic. Thank you for joining me, Ben and Ben, the Space Dwarf Driller Men. And we'll see you on a future Etch Play video. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome back. You're still watching the Etch Play Weekly Live show. All the best industry news and discussion every Thursday at 4 PM, live here on Twitch and on YouTube for catch-up later. I'm joined now by Dan Thomas. Thanks for joining the show, Dan.
Hello, how are we doing?
Good, not too bad. Nice of you to join us. You were a bit late for the show there today.
I got back into my research and I was enjoying myself.
The reason Dan has been researching is because he's doing today's discussion segment, and we're talking about crypto in gaming, which Dan is going to teach you all about. So when you leave today, you're going to be an official Bitcoin investor and you'll be able to make millions of pounds. Is that what we're doing here, Dan?
Cast iron guarantee. We're going to come out of this today. Everyone's going to be an expert, guaranteed riches for all. No, I'm lying. Crypto, blockchain. We know this is a growing. Obviously, everybody's heard of this in all sorts of contexts. It's a growing, significant sort of sector of the games space as well. And as we like to do, throw ourselves in at the deep end. if we want to learn something, we say, let's talk about it on the show. So, yeah, I'm not an expert, but I've done some research. And let's see how we get on at trying to explain it, shall we?
Yeah, so why don't you start by telling the folks at home who maybe don't know, maybe they've been living under a rock, maybe they've not got a computer. I mean, watching this show is impressive without one, but if you've never heard of crypto before, what is crypto?
What is this thing? If I'd be interested, if you are in the chat on a scale of 1 to 5, just let us know what your confidence or expertise in this subject matter is, just so I know how how bad I'm going to look with my explanation of these things. So, what is crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin, all of these things? So, probably a simple way to start this is if we go back to where it all came from, which is 2008, the banking crisis, the distrust that emerged in the banking sector. And some clever people thought, do we really need banks to facilitate all of these financial transactions? Like, if I want to send you money, for example, we cannot do this without a bank being involved, and we have to just trust their systems, their processes. And I say, yeah, I'm sending Adam thousands of pounds, which I regularly do. And yeah, we've got no visibility and no control over that. So some people thought, well, maybe there's a better way, and they came up with this stack of technologies to decentralize the transfer of wealth or value between two parties. And this technology is blockchain. And what is blockchain? Blockchain is essentially, it's a decentralized audit trail of transactions. So if you think about a spreadsheet that just says this person sent that person this amount of money, and the unique thing about blockchain as opposed to a audit trail between banks or the existing transfer of cash systems that we have is, we mentioned this decentralized. So essentially everybody has visibility of this audit trail, and it's immutable. Nobody can change it. So once a transaction is in there, the ledger is publicly shared. Everybody can see the sequence of events. So it's very reliable, and no one entity necessarily owns it. So that is blockchain. Is in hypothetically, technology obviously is far more intricate than that. But that's the theory of this. How am I doing so far, Adam? You're an expert in this.
I mean, I own some cryptocurrency, so I guess that puts me above a 1.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair assessment of the cryptocurrency, the founding principles behind it. And like you said, there's been a kind of a long and storied road since then, with various cryptocurrencies competing, because they all have slightly different variations or ideas on the theme of how this currency. They all agree in principle that it should be a separate currency to existing fiat currencies. But they all have a slightly different take on it, don't they, in terms of how they generate the currency, how they share the currency, how they decide what the definitive version of the ledger is. And that's why you get Bitcoin, you get like 100 other Bitcoins as well.
Yeah, so and that's the key thing to, I guess, for everybody to understand, is blockchain is the technology that this whole idea is built on. A cryptocurrency uses this idea of a shared ledger. And a cryptocurrency basically says, there are X amount of this currency that we're making up, and the blockchain facilitates the fact that it is limited to that amount, and who owns what percentage or what values of that currency. So we use blockchain to enable a cryptocurrency, and yeah, Bitcoin was kind of the first, and is probably the baseline of which all other cryptocurrencies are based. But we also have what we call altcoins, so different currencies, because anybody can create, in theory, anybody can create their own currency to run on blockchain. But the key thing is that blockchain is not cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency uses blockchain, and blockchain is just basically this shared immutable ledger that everybody can see and is auditable and not owned by any one party, which is how we can start to introduce it into the world of games. But yeah, the most common use of this is for currency, and we are now, the banking crisis said kind of 2008, that was when this came about. We're now rapidly approaching 15 years on from that, so yeah, this has matured, and things one of the questions a lot of people will ask is, well, how do I get real money out of it? Well, that is a problem that is solved, and if you choose to, you can put money in, you can buy your stake of your cryptocurrency, but you can equally, if you have some cryptocurrency, you can get the local monetary value out of it as well very easily. More and more businesses are accepting cryptocurrency as a means of payment, and I think Tesla is probably a famous example. You can go and buy a car using just your cryptocurrency. So it's a fairly, in the grand scheme of this digital landscape in which we operate, it's now becoming it's far from mature, but it's a proven platform and technology set. Even actually, I think in New Zealand you can actually you can opt to get your salary paid in cryptocurrency.
Oh, wow.
That's quite interesting.
Is that Bitcoin or like special?
I think it's
New Zealand
Bitcoin.
money?
No, I think it is. I think it's Bitcoin, and yeah, some people do. And because of this maturity and the ability to get your money in and out of it easily, you can get paid in Bitcoin and immediately just take your what you need to pay your rent, buy your food, shopping, whatever it is. You can just take that slice out. But the long-term aim is that this is the way ultimately that all financial transactions could end up being, and that's what a lot of people are kind of making their bets on, is that the logical conclusion 10, 20, however many years in the future is that we won't rely on this arbitrary money and coins and notes and banks. We will use this more decentralized approach. So yeah, that's why people might want to do it.
So one of the things I bet people in the chat will be thinking about, because it's been more of a talking point recently, is NFTs, like non-fungible tokens, and they've probably seen some of their favourite artists or musicians or visual artists getting into the world of NFTs. Do you have any insight for the folks at home about what NFTs are and how they relate?
So yeah, much like you, mere hours ago I was like, what the hell are these NFTs? So we've let's say hypothetically we're now understanding what blockchain is and we understand what a currency is. So an NFT is kind of like they're called currency, but the technical definition is a token. So a Bitcoin is a Bitcoin token. It's not a coin, it's a token. And an NFT is also a token, much the same way as a coin is. The only difference is this non-fungible bit means that each token can be unique. So for example, let's relate this to the real world. If I had a pound coin and Adam had a pound coin, we both effectively have the same thing, and we can both exchange that for the same, we can both go to Greg's and buy the same £1 sausage roll, and there is no distinction between my pound coin and Adam's pound coin. And that's how a cryptocurrency could also work. The coin is the token, and that's how that's represented. The NFT implementation of this is my pound coin, for example, has my face on it, Adam's pound coin has his face on it, and mine is the only pound coin with my face on it. It is unique, and because of that uniqueness, the value, mine has my face on it, so it's infinitely more valuable than Adam's with his face on it. So this is the blockchain being used to create these tokens, and each token is unique, and then this is how we are able to assure that an NFT item, a piece of artwork, it is the only one in existence, which is why it's not exactly a PDF that anyone can download a copy of the PDF. It is the original PDF, or it's the original source file, and the blockchain is what assures that fact. So these are NFTs, and this is why there's value attributed to them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of interest in it, I guess, in terms of like it's collectible, is because of the uniqueness, I guess. So when an artist releases something, or at least there's perceived to be, and this is all about perceived value ultimately, there's perceived to be value in the fact that this is in some way unique and attributable. Kind of like getting an autograph signed or something, it's a unique proposition.
Exactly, and this is where we start to apply the logic into games, is kind of what makes blockchain and crypto relevant is the fact that we can assure ownership. We have the ledger to say this item is definitely owned by that person. It's no longer owned by the originating entity. We have rarity, so the items can be unique, but they can also be clustered by, hair color or length of hair, type of shoes, all these different things that make it unique. But we know that 80% of these items have the same shoes, but only 20% have these special shoes. So we can use the blockchain to assure the rarity of an item. So how unique is this item? Which again is a useful kind of gaming mechanic. And yeah, the uniqueness of it, we know that this is an extremely rare version of this token, and it is the only one of that type that is in existence. And these are things that we start to lean on in games, and there's a whole spectrum of how you can interpret these, and there's a whole ecosystem of blockchain powered games, and it ranges from as simple as they're kind of at its simplest a platform to spend your cryptocurrencies on. In some instances you just pay to play, like you would do at an arcade or a gambling site, for example. But then you can also, so that's just essentially becoming a platform to transfer cryptocurrency around. And that's interesting, and you have the unique items and things like that, and there's some hugely successful examples of this. CryptoKitties being probably the biggest example that at its peak was kind of blocking up the Ethereum cryptocurrency. But you can also take the concepts behind it and start to introduce this into game mechanics, which is where it perhaps gets a little bit more interesting from a core game perspective. So what can we layer into an existing game that leverages this uniqueness and leverages this rarity, and the fact that this weapon used in this game has been handed on from character to character and was involved in this big battle or this memorable scene or this big community event, and it still exists 2, 3, 4 years later. There's an increased value of the item, and perhaps there's some gamification elements involved in it as well. So that's I guess the spectrum of how we're using blockchain and how it ties in with cryptocurrency, and it's a wild environment. Certainly a lot going on.
Thought you were going to say Wild Wild West. Shout out to my man Will Smith. What are some examples then of games? You mentioned CryptoKitties, but what are there other games out there that are like at the pinnacle of this crypto or the spearhead of this movement?
Yeah, it is somewhat familiar to kind of like the app gold rush days. There is just more and more and more. There's so many varieties of both currency, blockchain technologies, and then the apps. You also have ecosystems around it, so it's an exponentially growing amount of games. Mobile is obviously an easy candidate for people to make this, like CryptoKitties is the example there. But there are some sort of PC games and things as well. There's a game called The Sandbox that is gaining. It's pretty popular, and this is an open world kind of, I guess. I'm dumbing it down too much, but I've only kind of briefly looked at this, but it's kind of like a Minecraft-esque voxel world, but there is a crafting element to it, and the players can craft unique items using these voxel editors. So you can make an item, you can have it in the world, and then that item, because you've created it and you've put it on the blockchain, it starts to gain value, and then you can trade it, or you can modify it, share it with other people and things like that. So yeah, The Sandbox is one example. Another is Six Dragons, which is another open world RPG, which is very much claims to be sort of shaped by the players, and again, because the value is in this kind of use of blockchain, the game is evolving based off of the player behaviors and the items they create and craft, and so that's another one. Axi Infinity is another one that I came across, which is I think it's a sort of quite a narrative strong game, which is interesting. And going back to Six Dragons, actually, what's interesting with that is it's built on top of a blockchain game creation platform. So kind of thinking like Roblox is a game creation platform where it's actually an ecosystem where players can make games and other players can play those games. And those games can be monetized. This is the same thing, but using blockchain technologies. So that's quite interesting as well. We're getting new ecosystems on top of ecosystems and different games using different currencies. So yes, there's a lot going on, and a quick search on mobile or desktop and web-based as well. There's a lot going on. I did do some quick research, and I've not seen any kind of like household name game studios that have done anything significant yet. I know Ubisoft were doing some kind of startup incubators type experiments and looking at blockchain technologies, and there are a few claims to be this is a AAA quality blockchain game, but it's by new studios and new investments. So I've not seen the next Call of Duty or whatever but I'm sure it's only a matter of time that will come. There will be a first mover imminently if it's not already happening and I've just missed it.
Call of Bitcoin coming soon. A lot of people out there will maybe be seeing some of the pushback on Twitter around NFTs specifically in terms of their environmental impact. I mean, if you see a game that is using blockchain, should you be worried about your impact on the environment? Is it variable? How does it work?
It's a valid point. So the idea of kind of the energy consumption used in processing and mining, so the mining side of things, which goes a bit over my head, is the idea that when there's a limited amount of a currency or a thing, you need a certain amount of processing power to work out exactly what the parameters of the existence of these tokens are. It isn't insignificant, but equally, what in isolation you can say, yes, that's an additional impact on the environment. But equally, if you look at the problems that blockchain and cryptocurrency can solve, it's like, well, actually, what if you took away traditional banking and traditional paper currency and coins and things like that? Like, what could it offset? And actually, it's comparable rather than just a new thing that needs to go. It's if you look at it in context, it's maybe not as severe as the headlines might make out, but equally, it's something to do your research on for sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for joining me, Dan. I appreciate it. And if you at home have enjoyed the show, send us some Bitcoin. Like, DM us on Twitter or whatever, and you can send us some. I'm sure we'll gladly take it off your hands. Dan, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.
That's okay, anytime. And thank you to all of you at home who have been watching. We really appreciate it when you tune in. If you've liked the show, if you liked the gameplay or the news or the discussion, any of it, you can follow us on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you're on Twitch right now with us live, you're the best. You can press the purple button down in the bottom right, it's literally underneath us as I speak. Press that and you'll be notified every time we go live. If you are watching us on Catch-Up on YouTube, that's fine too. But if you subscribe to us on YouTube, you'll get notified and get little, nudges when we put new stuff up there as well.
And you're also the best.
Who's also the best? People on
YouTube.
No, if you're on YouTube, you're not as good as people on Twitch.
Okay, fair enough.
I apologise to the YouTubers. You're welcome. You're always welcome here. We will see you next week here at the same time, every Thursday, 4 p.m, the Etch Play Weekly live show. I'm Adam Burt. He's been Dan Thomas, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.